tapping, tapping. I'm getting this money through rapping. Your nigga, he only just tapping. Khala gaya pina, I'm tapping, tapping, tapping. I'm getting this money through rapping. Your nigga, he only just tapping. Khala gaya pina, I'm tapping, tapping, tapping. I'm getting this money through rapping. Your nigga, he only just tapping. Khala gaya pina, I'm tapping, tapping, tapping. I'm getting this money through rapping. Your nigga, he only just tapping. Khala gaya pina, I'm tapping.
What's up, beautiful people? Galibito Getapela Mohomani, but you can call me Moholane Rems, and welcome to #TapIn, where we give you a weekly dose of that culture direct, baby. But before we get into today's episode, if you're looking to get your biggest moments captured, make sure to tap in Darlington's Photography Studios. They're located right here in the Goldfields Mall, just next to the casino. Come through, get captured, and live your moments forever. Let's start today's episode with the hottest news in the city, man. I mean, SAhiphopAwards versus the Big 3. This thing started a little small thing. The guys were being interviewed, SAhiphopAwards that is. They were being interviewed and they were asked, okay, what is your take on Usimamane, namely Frankness Everyday and Kaya Dumaku, calling themselves the Big 3 of Free State? And then the guys were like, yo, we don't think those people should consider themselves the Big 3 of Free State. Considering the work that we've put in, we think it should be the Big 6, right? And then the conversation started going, and then it ended up to a point where SAhiphopAwards that is, Movasebari, no, if the Big 3, quote unquote, the Big 3 have anything to say about that, then they should do something about it, right? And something about it they did. Man, let's talk releases. Usimamane, Frankness Everyday, and Kaya Dumaku are like, okay, they dropped a song called Makasi, actually a video. They went as far as shooting a music video hours after that interview came out. They both say if they knew about the interview before. They went for everyone, bro. They went for the podcast. They went for SAhiphopAwards. They questioned their credibility, whether these niggas would have been where they are if it wasn't for the record label they signed under, or if it wasn't for the co-signs. You see, the co-signs are a big chair. The guys have had Tatistan on their songs. They've had Sanere. They've had even Phantom Steez, that is SAhiphopAwards. So Usimamane, the Big 3 actually went at that, and they questioned that, bro. And I like the song, bro. I feel like it's really hip hop. It was gritty. It was hard. It was rough. It was straight to the point. You could hear what the guys were talking about. But hey, man, the Kapatio, hey, they were a bit too much. But I also feel like, I mean, hip hop, dog. And then I was after maybe a day. I'll say a day. The following day, SAhiphopAwards released a response to that. Right? They released a response to that. The response was called Big Who, Empty Caskets, right? I will say that song is for a critical hip hop head. You would think Raima, that song was a bit too vibe. It was a bit, but it wasn't like a diss necessarily. Like, it was more vibes. For me, it was like more vibes. Even the beat selection wasn't like your typical pop or chair hip hop. It was more like, you know what I mean, just vibes. It reminded me of AKA's Composure to Casper. If you listen to Composure, the reason we can still run Composure, no, it's because Composure was vibey, man. Composure, you know what I mean? You can still, you know what I mean, vibe to it. So I feel like the guys were sort of going for that approach, right? Sharpo, after they dropped, this is what happens. The hip hop community on Facebook goes into pandemonium, bro. The guys were people on hip hop audience was going crazy. They're like, yo, Babotana, who won, who didn't win, who had a better diss, who had what. And I felt like, because the opinions were so a little bit balanced, like you couldn't really like determine based on the audience who they really stand with, because the Linsunyani boys with the people from there, they were like, yo, we are standing with our boys. And if you listen to the people from Vela also and you read their comments, they were also standing with their people. So it is a bit like balance the opinions. So with that, Seth and Flacco are like, nah, bro, I got them this casket. They released the song yesterday. Just to tempera that whole situation. They released the song yesterday. What do they call the song? I forgot what the song is called. It's fine. They released the song just to tempera the situation. It dropped yesterday. It's only been a few hours. And when you listen to that song, you can hear, okay, now the guys are rapping. Right now the guys are, they've left the vibes aside. They've left your cool. They've left all of that aside. Now they're going at the niggas, right? They were more boom bap style. They were more the cadence was more real hip hop, street hip hop, and I feel like because of that, maybe Spoken Fana, Big 3, Kaya Dumaku, Frankness, those guys, they might want to release another song also just to tempera over him. And we can still go if you guys want to go. Because I said it on Facebook. I was like, bro, I feel like this beef is a little bit too balanced. Because on the other side, you might say, Seth and Flacco, they have numbers because of signings and because of the record labels and whatnot. You might make excuses for why they are where they are in terms of their music's reception. But also you can go to Spoken Fana and Frankness and Kaya and say, they've also had big co-signings. I mean, Kaya was on P.O's album, I believe. Yes, he was on P.O's albums. They've had like big features. They've made moves. They've been in the industry longer than, I believe, Seth and Flacco in terms of age, if you look at it. So there's a lot of talking points as to why the other camp may be better than the other camp. But I will leave that to the audience and everyone that is tapped in on Rams. Tap in, hashtag tap in. Which one is it? I'll leave it to everyone that is tapped in on hashtag tap in, man. Let me know what you think in the comments. Who you think is actually has an upper hand on this beef situation. Right. Moving on, we get into listening sessions in the city, man. I think I will say this about listening sessions, right? I feel like as hip hop acts, it's really important that they focus on album rollouts. I feel we're in a different space now in hip hop where it's easier to release music because of the internet. It's easier to get your audience to be like tapped in on what you are offering to them. It can be an album, it can be music videos, it can be whatever. But it's really important that when you release a project, you do something that's a bit extra so that you stand out more. Because everyone can go on DistroKid and just register a production company and start distributing their music on all streaming platforms. So I like what I saw on this past Saturday on with Slique Records. They actually did a whole listening session for Pro Era's new album, right? They did a whole listening session and it was a vibe. There was people there. People were listening to the music. There was even correspondence there talking about the music, asking the people what they think about the music. So I think even if you're an independent artist, man, because look at Sabata. Sabata said he's going to also do a listening session for his upcoming project. So I think more artists should do that more, bro. Like just, do something extra. Try to entertain your audience a little bit better so that your music can stand out, so that your efforts can stand out. Because now it's a little bit easier for people to just release music and be known. Man, let's move on to another part of the show. And I wanna bring something to you guys. I feel like the music video standards in South Africa are really elevated, bro. And a lot of people, we're always looking at like the negatives. This is not happening, that is not happening. People are not getting awards. There aren't enough awards for hip hop. There aren't categories for hip hop. What. But if you look at other things, and I feel like it really gives you perspective on how the culture has sort of shifted, right? Let's look at the music videos. I remember I had this thought when I saw Baby Daisy's Enemies. I think it dropped last year. Oh, that music video was just quality, bro. So I saw that music video and I thought to myself, I'm like, bro, from the Never Ride music video, Yanya Tato Soul and Madlera and whatnot with the VHS tape, from that you could already see the music video sort of standards of South Africa shifting. And I think those are the kind of things we need to start commending in hip-hop. Those are the kind of things we need to start talking about. I mean, we had people like Gia Headless shooting music videos. We've had people like Creative Shots shooting music videos, bro. Maniac, bro. There's a lot of people that are independent, people that just are shooting quality music videos. We can look at the music video that just came out like a few weeks ago. It's WhoDatAtMyDoor by Jay Katana and Brother Coop. I have to say, cinema, baby. That is pure cinema. That's a beautiful music video, man, and you can tell that there was a lot of thought that was put into the whole project. And I just like how the guys understand what a superstar is supposed to do, how a superstar is supposed to package themselves, and how a superstar is supposed to present themselves to the audience. So I like what I saw from Jay Katana with that music video. I think it was really a beautiful music video. I like the concept behind it. I think they were sort of trying to take you back because they had like flags, the old apartheid government flags. They were banning them. If you look at this, the small nuances of the video, you will realize that they are basically saying, yo, we are standing against the status quo, right? They are against everything that we believe as a people we should be going for. So for me, into my big brains, I like to think that music video is basically a metaphor or like a way of saying that, yo, we as the new gen are against these old ass niggas. We're against these old niggas coming through here trying to tell us, yo, this is how the culture was, this is how hip-hop was, yo, you guys are not doing the right things. They're not giving you the reins, but they want you to do things in a certain way. Like, it doesn't make sense. So I like that Jay Katana and Brother Cooper actually came through with that music video, and they were like, yo, with this presentation, with this conceptual relevance of taking it back, using the apartheid government, the oppressors, which is the old school hip-hop heads, to show that, yo, we are saying we are tired of that and we're standing against that. We're bending your flags, man. We're bending your flags and we're coming through with a new swag, a different swag, a higher standard. Pure cinema, baby. And then, man, before we close this segment, I have to say, give a big shout out to my boy Atim Buzi. Came through with 10K streams, I believe, on his music video King Kawena. It was just announced this past weekend, which is a beautiful thing. It just shows how the culture of just standards in music videos just elevating, just taking new heights, and it's a beautiful thing to see. So let's give flowers where they are due. Man, I like to believe, Obori, I'm an advocate for hip-hop culture in South Africa, right? So with that being said, man, let's talk South African hip-hop awards. Bro, I recently watched the Metrone and I don't know why, when everything seems digitally, nonetheless seems to be like elevating in South Africa. Like, if you look at independent artists, their music video, as I said, everything else, like the music quality is better, all of those things are better. Why is it that we're still so far behind when it comes to awards, right? So as I watched the Metro Awards, I asked myself, where are the SAhiphopAwards? Then I realized the last time they had SAhiphopAwards was in 2022, my dog. 2022, right? And it begs the question, Yahweh, if the conversation or the general consensus is that, yo, hip-hop is not what it used to be, all those things, that, yo, hip-hop has fell off, it's no longer in the charts and those things, aren't things like awards gonna put hip-hop back where it was? So I think it's about time that we have SAhiphopAwards again. I think it's about time that we have not just events, but a place where people can be given their flowers for all the hard work that they've been putting on throughout the years. I think it's really important that we have something like SAhiphopAwards. So we need to have them back. We need to have them back because niggas can't be dropping bangers. Niggas can't be dropping banger music videos without getting their flowers and someone to say, yo, keep doing what you're doing good. We're young people, bro. Sometimes just getting that pat on the shoulder is a good thing for us. And then there's another thing also that I realized that I think we should really have a conversation on is how the old school hip hop heads, I'm talking your Speedstars, your I can even say Nota, but everyone that's like Bocas, but all those things, all those niggas that are like that have been in the game, let's say since 2016 or even before that. It's the general conversation. If you look at the year when the year started, it started off Katabayan. Actually started I think last year with early this year with the 5FM show when K Kid didn't wanna rap on Speedsta's show, right? It started there, and that's when I realized there's a real like disconnect between the new gen and the old school. And I think it stems from people not understanding where they are supposed to be in their careers. I mean, you look at someone like Speedsta, but not to get into everything that he's been doing with Kill Brady, Bob Blake. I think everyone is aware of that, right? There's a lot of beefs, there's a lot of what. But I want to address something that I feel like for me really stands out. There's two types of old school hip hop people that were in the game for as long as they have been. There's a Speedsta, then there's a SpeedstaDjSlique. If you look at Speedsta, bro, Speedsta seems to want to speak down or break down whatever little that the young niggas or the new generation is trying to build. And for me, it's like, for someone that has been in the game for so long and for someone that understands South Africa's market when it comes to hip-hop, that it's not the most popular thing and it will never be the most popular thing because the audience just doesn't gravitate towards a sound like hip-hop in South Africa. There's other things that the audience likes, other genres that I will not name on this channel, but there's other things that they like that will often be put forward before hip-hop. So for someone that understands that game, for someone that understands where the game has come from and how far it has come from, to want to speak down on everything that the young kids are doing, man, and to always want to criticize without saying anything positive about what the young kids are doing really like baffles me, bro. Because I've watched his show, right, on 5FM. I've listened to his show. I've even watched the clips just to judge maybe body character. Sometimes someone will be saying something over audio and then you don't necessarily understand the gist of what they're saying until you actually see them. So I give a share about them, man. I can see there's a certain level of arrogance and entitlement, man. For someone that has been in the game for that long, he should not have. And for someone that has been in the game for that long, he should have more grace when it comes to what the young people are doing in the game. He seems to be speaking down on everything that they're doing. He once said Kill Brady's name is not because it's Kill Brady or Lil Nosebleed. I think it was Lil Nosebleed or Kill Brady. Because their names are like that, it's really difficult for brands to associate themselves with those people, meaning it's not palatable enough for the audience or the general audience of South Africa or the world as a whole. And for me, it was weird, bro. Why? Your name is Speedsta, my dog. Like, that shouldn't be palatable also in any other world, bro. Like, it's really questionable, okay? You would want to use things like your names, what to be palatable. But if you look at where hip-hop comes from and what hip-hop is, bro, hip-hop is actually a culture that pushes against the status quo. It's not supposed to be palatable. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. That is why we like it, because that's the one time where you can actually feel like, yo, I am someone that's not doing things the way that they're supposed to be done. I'm a rebel in some way or form. So for me, it was really weird that now all of a sudden, now that he's old and he's been in this game for so long and he needs all these brands that he has, he wants to speak down on what the game is all about and what the game has provided for him regardless of whether he was palatable or not. You understand? And then there's someone that I feel like is actually doing the right things when it comes to what hip-hop is and where hip-hop is supposed to be moving in the direction in which it's supposed to be moving at. That is DjSlique, man. I like every single thing that DjSlique stands for. I also been tapped in with his show on YFM with Roy. I think that's when you get to see the dynamics, or rather the difference between an old head that is arrogant and wants to feel important in a game that has moved past him, and an old head that understands that their job is to put fuel on a moving car that is going in a direction in which they may not have seen going. That is DjSlique, man. He's coming through there. The young kids are coming on his show. Baby Lowski was there recently with Questa, getting a link up with Questa for the first time, which was beautiful. They even discovered that they're both from Kato, which is dope. Those are the kind of barriers you wanna break. Those are the kind of bridges you wanna build, that the old generation and the young generation can be in the same space or in the same environment where they can both learn from each other. The old guys, we can learn from them as much as they should be learning from us. So DjSlique is doing amazing things, man. I'm hearing bangers after bangers. I mean, I heard K Kids songs there, the exclusivity audience are very soon. Oh, just bangers, my dog, just bangers. And I don't think, if you watch interviewer K Kid on YFM, and you watch the one that he had with DjSlique, with DJ Speedstar on 5FM, you will see the difference, boy. She's a bit more comfortable with DjSlique, because DjSlique understands and is able to accommodate the generation, or the younger generation, in a sense of not necessarily being too critical on what they are doing, but trying to understand what they are doing. I mean, those are the kind of things that I feel like as a hip-hop community as a whole we should really commend, bro, because people like DjSlique are really doing amazing things. They have picked up where the big dog, Rick. Yes, they're really picking off where the goats like Rick who are doing, where they are really like are creating spaces for young people to be comfortable and be able to to express themselves in their fullest form, right? So I think it's really important that we listen to what the Roy and DjSlique are doing on YFM. It's really important that we tap into that. I think it's really important that you go to DjSlique's shows. So, man, just to close it off, I just want to say props to DjSlique and Roy. They're doing amazing things right there on YFM. I think it's a Sunday show or Monday show. I don't know. I watch it on YouTube anyway. But just make sure to check in and tap in with what they are doing for the culture and the young kids, man. They've had a lot of young people there to showcase their talents and what they are capable of. Man, just to close off the show, I have to say, Usimamane won the beef, my dog. If anyone has a different conversation about Usimamane winning the beef against 3-4 niggas, so many niggas, he beat every single one. Sasti, Lakava, Kilbrady, Blakey, because he didn't respond. Every single one of them, they got belt to ass. And if you have anything else that you think might counter that, we might have to. Man, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you're notified next time we drop. With that being said, see you on the flip side.
I got a bad bin streaming to the numbers going up. Here I am paying. Highway how low you me like antenna. You don't got a cat on and say the game. Just tap in. Tell a car, Bubeti Banyan. But that's a force, so keep it a wound. Pofuta, man.